Okay, we're recording. We're all set. So this is the Happy Coffee Zoom. If you're watching this on the recording, you're watching on our YouTube channel, welcome first and foremost. But we're going to do a little training tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in our company, what's happening, where we're going, what's been going on. We got to look at a bunch of numbers today. We got to hear some things that are happening inside the company and got to talk to some of the top leaders in the company. And it's always good to rub shoulders with people like that so that you can, understand, get the vision, catch the bug, if you will, about what's going on, because the ones that are at the corporate office a lot obviously know more. And, sitting down with Sean and Janine and customer support and hearing all this stuff, I believe, this isn't 100%, but I believe we're all caught up on shipping, on all the orders out the door, and all that mess that we've been through the last couple of weeks with, barcode issues and switching fulfillment centers and switching back offices and all that stuff. I think is all taken care of. So again, don't quote me on that, but just watch as you do orders and stuff. I think you're gonna see a big difference on all that stuff. So why don't we, since he's on here, why don't we have Keith? You wanna tell us real quick, buddy, just kind of what your vision is and stuff, and what you're seeing from your perspective. With what being around for the last year and a half, things of that nature. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think is happening and what's going on with the company and where it's going?
Yeah, I can. Thank you, Warren. And once again, I apologize for the background noise. I'm actually in a meeting and I just stepped away from the table. But, I'm a pretty good salesman, but it's hard to put into words what's happening. I mean, you don't just plan on being with a company and your volume going from $5,000 a month to $5 million a month in 6 months. It's just no way to really, to plan on that type of growth. And it's just that exponential growth. What's unique about it, Warren, is 95% of it was done online, virtually. And so it's just about exposing. We've all used that word duplicatable or something that duplicates simple and to the point that it's kind of cliche in our industry. But if your company's going to have a dramatic effect on the industry or your group's going to have a dramatic effect on the company, you've got to be with, you got to have a product or service that disappears. You got to have one that is in high demand. You got to have one that's not too complicated, something that everybody understands. And, in the little bit of experience I've got in the last 23 years, when I get exposed to a new company or a new product or a new service, the first thing I do is I ask myself, what percentage of my warm market does this company's product or service appeal to? And, I don't know the exact demographics, but it's somewhere around 89 or 90% of American adults over the age of 21 consume coffee daily. And so, that's a clue. It's something that you don't have to go educate people on what to do. And all our manufacturer did and our formulator did was put a healthy alternative out there for something that people already do on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to retrain them. You don't have to educate them. You just got, cup of coffee A, it's your traditional coffee and it's not healthy for you. And you got cup of coffee B that has, a lot of ingredients and nutrition that you need that'll help you on a day-to-day basis and things that you have deficiencies in. So, the American public, any type change is perceived as negative. When you're looking at an opportunity, you got to ask somebody to change their electric service or change their phone service or change the supplement that they take. You think about traditional things like changing your phone number or changing your job or changing your spouse. Something as simple as changing your church membership from one congregation to the other. The American public's perception is that change is negative. So, you want to be with an opportunity where you don't have to ask people to set aside some extra money or change something that they already do on a day-to-day basis. They can still consume this functional beverage that's coffee. They don't have to set aside any additional money. It's money that they're already spending on a day-to-day basis anyway. We just offer them a healthy alternative to something that they already do. But the company's growing at leaps and bounds. We're tracking somewhere between 80 to 100 million our first year. and which will break all the records. We've got, a middle class person, nothing against the B or C players, but our comp plan is really groomed for that middle class person. We've been doing this a long time, and I have more people that fall in that category. And the category I'm talking about is 500 to 5,000 a month. We've got more people that fall in that category that's earning that amount of money consistently month after month than any company that I've ever been in. The fact that we're part of a publicly traded company, it takes all the gray area out. If they tell you they did 4.2 million or 3.5 million, that's the number. They've got auditors and CPAs and SEC attorneys in there. Warren and I was there today, and there was 8 or 10 people in the conference room that were investors and attorneys that were working on the end of the month audits. And to know that there's people like that, that's dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. And if they tell you they did, $150,000 yesterday, guess what? It's $150,000. So, it's something that's unique. And, I think the industry's really starving for the next big giant. When you talk about legacy type companies, companies that stormed the industry and took the world by storm, like a XL Communication or a Monavie, those big billion-dollar giants, they only about one come around every 10 years. And the industry's really starving for the next big one. And I think that, I don't have a crystal ball, don't get me wrong, but I think that this company, Elapreneurs, is poised to be the next legacy company. It's got every single key ingredient. It's got the right management team. It's got the right financing. It's got the right high demand product. The founders and people that's running the company are not closed-minded. They're every single day looking at other products that are legacy type products that are in high demand, that aren't Me Too products that we could own the exclusivity to. They're looking at products right now to roll out next year. So, as we continue to add additional products, just like they did this last weekend, all it's going to do is catapult our income. But we're just getting started here. I said at the event from the stage that, everything that happened since last spring is really irrelevant. This week really starts, that's where the line is in the sand. That's where the company really launching. They've got a new app coming out. They've got new products coming out. They've got new chat and new people in customer service, and they're opening a new office in Orange County, California. And just everything's happening. It's happening at not a record pace, but I will tell you in reference to what Warren was talking about, where they're improving things like customer service and fulfillment stuff, is that the company's not perfect, but I can tell you that we have the right people in place to improve everything on a day-to-day basis to make things better and better and better. So, to kind of sum up, I heard you say the word training. I can do a training in 30 seconds, Warren, and that is, it's about, back in the 70s and 80s, there was a company here in the South called 7-Eleven, and they showed up on every major corner in the South. And their motto was location, location, location. And, our motto at Elapreneur, when we talk about it being very duplicatable and it being about the massive exposure, it's about expose, expose, expose. We got a lot of people making a lot of money, but I really believe the number one money earner has not even been sponsored and put in the computer yet. There's going to be somebody come along that has the ability to get the exposures out to the masses, whether that be television, a blog, a email blast, a commercial, some kind of mass marketing, however it may be. It's about exposure. When we talk about a training, it's really simple. You don't want to make any money, don't have anybody try the coffee. You want to make a little bit of money, have a few people try the coffee. And if you want to make a lot of money, have a lot of people try the coffee. It's not just about coffee. The two products, Xanthamax and the Elevate Coffee, complement each other. Every single key healthy ingredient that's in the Elevate Coffee is available with the Chocolate without the caffeine. So, we had a group of people in Indiana and Pennsylvania that were Amish. We had a big group of people in Utah that were Mormon. And there's a conflict with their beliefs and their religions about consuming caffeine. So the formulator took the same great key ingredients that everybody needs, and he formulated it into a healthy hot chocolate. So if you got somebody that's doesn't like a hot beverage or doesn't consume caffeine, they can take the chocolate. Myself, I don't really like the taste of coffee. I don't really like a hot beverage. So what I do is Garth Nash taught me to put a scoop of the chocolate in with some ice and a fruit in the morning. I kind of make me a little chocolate milkshake smoothie. That's the best way that I consume it. But we've got great products. We got something that appeals to the masses. I'll tell you in closing and send it back to you, Warren, is that as I get, people try to recruit me into their company, I ask myself, I said this before, what percentage of my warm market does this product or service appeal to? And our products at Elapreneur appeals to everybody. Every single person, 18 to 80, is a legitimate prospect. Years ago in old school, we were taught to make a list. When we got through with the list of 200 or 300 people, we put a star beside the top 10. And everybody had a chicken list. Everybody had somebody that we left off the list that we were scared to approach. I was guilty of that too. But I can tell you with this opportunity, it doesn't matter. Everybody's a true prospect. It doesn't matter if somebody makes $30,000 a year riding on the back of a trash truck, or if you got a vascular surgeon and a medical degree that that makes $30,000 a day. They probably consume coffee. And this particular opportunity, even though the vascular surgeon might not be interested in, developing a business as far as a plan B income, he would definitely be interested in a healthy alternative to something that he does every day anyway. So everybody, doesn't matter, your banker, your preacher, your fireman, your policeman, your postman, your babysitter, every single person everybody on your email list, everybody that's in your phone, everybody on your mother's Christmas card list, everybody would love to know that there's a healthy alternative to something that they already do, and it makes it a no-brainer. We've got a new app that's coming out that will, the combination of that and the fact that our product is in the shareables, it makes the business dummy-proof. Anybody can go out and ask somebody would they like to have a cup of coffee and take a healthy alternative. So, Warren, I'm really excited. Once again, I apologize for the background noise. I'm going to get more and more and more involved in anything that you guys need my help with as far as these Zooms. I can tell you that we have people that have over 100 Elapreneurs frontline to them. We have people that have in excess of 3,000 active customers that order from their websites on a month-to-month basis, and the business has been grown virally. If you want to do it old school and meet somebody for lunch or rent a room down at the Holiday Inn or have a Super Saturday, you can do that. But there are people that are having phenomenal success doing it the new millennial way, doing it online with these Zoom calls like you're talking about, these, people doing blogs and Facebook Lives and things like that. And I'm not very diverse when it comes to, that type of technology. And I can tell you that I'll be 57 in April, but I'm still teachable and I'm still willing to learn. I'm like a sponge trying to soak up to do exactly what I need to do so I get the biggest bang for the buck of the work that I put out every single day. And I just challenge everybody to plug into the system. This business is not simple, but the fact that it's shareable, there's a huge demand, and we've got systems in place. It's not easy, but they do make the business simple. A lot of times this business is really hard and frustrating. They've got a simple recipes for success. It's just getting the samples out, and you're going to have a lot of people become customers, and then automatically, Amy Smith is proof of it, a lot of those customers are eventually going to become an Elapreneur and start sharing the business as well. So, Warren, I'm excited. Thank you for everybody's time. And once again, I look forward to getting more involved with your Zooms in the future.
Thanks, buddy. I was just real quick. I don't know if you could maybe go back over the last 10 minutes of your talk there, because you lost me at people that don't drink coffee. I'm just wondering, are there actual people out there that don't drink coffee on a regular basis? Because I'm pretty sure I have been one of those guys that has done 3, 4, 5 cups a day before, for sure. So anyway, all joking aside, dude, thank you so much for all the time and the effort. even today, helping with everything and working with customer service and all that stuff. And I look forward to continuing to build that relationship and going over to corporate more often. And listen, folks, Keith is on here helping us. I saw his back office. I saw the amount of volume, the amount of people. He is the master distributor, quote unquote, of the company, and everything falls under him. So he can see everything that's going on. He has that view. And to have him on our call, our personal call, just tells you a couple of things. How close you are to the top of the company. Okay. We've all heard that, everybody that made money was in early. There's some truth to that, but I've been in early in 4 different companies. I've been in early and all 4 of them have not panned out, thinking, okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be it, and this and that. But I can tell you that it's not necessarily just being early, but it's the other things that I've learned to look for in those other companies. Some other companies that, we're trying to bootstrap this and we don't want to have events, or we're working on this product. We're going to get a brochure. We've got a couple videos. Can you start with the video? Things like that I now look for, that companies that are brand new don't have events like we all just saw this past weekend. Companies that are brand new, if you don't have your what together, then you can't have these products. You can't have all of this coming out and being able to send this and have it at that quality. You don't make your own magazine, within 6 months. You don't have all this stuff if you don't know what you're doing. If you're somebody that's trying to fake it till you make it, that whole thing. And so I'll just tell you that being at corporate more and more and more, and listening to Robert, hearing people talk about the vision, hearing the other leaders talk about what's going on. They were doing a meeting at corporate tonight. Every Thursday night, they do a physical meeting inside the corporate office. And so as Keith talked about, though, you don't have to be old school in all this. With the technology and the Zoom that we have right here, we can go out there and we can be in anybody's living room or have a cup of coffee with somebody. We can do anything. I mean, you could flat out say, hey, let's have a cup of coffee at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I can call my buddy from high school in California and he'll be like, well, are you in town? I'm like, no, I'll just Zoom you. I'm going to make a cup of coffee. You make a cup of coffee and let's sit and talk. That's the potential that we have with this software and everything that's going on. And so when you can take that, I don't know if you guys don't know Zoom very well, it is not very expensive. There's even a free one that lasts 45 minutes, I think it is. But it's only $15 or $20 for the one that has unlimited. But get your own Zoom account. Start doing your own meetings that way, talking to people about it, getting these samples. I sent another 12 samples out again today with these shareables and stuff. And I did. We're going to watch this. I think I told you guys the other night that I had to pay postage of $3.50 on these. They thought that it would fit through the slot, and I didn't. And my boy Vernon, who's on here, Vernon, who just had surgery, I think yesterday. So kudos to him for being even on here. But he said just to try it, he thinks it's going to work, and he had sent a bunch out. So I sent out 5 or 6 with some 71-cent stamps today, and so we'll see what happens and how it's all going to work. So. Anyway, so let's go. Let's talk about anybody have any questions or anything real quick. I mean, it's about at 9 o'clock. We'll try to keep this to about 30 minutes or so. Janae, do you have a little friend there that you want to introduce? Does she want to say hi?
Can you say hello? Hi. Say hi, happy coffee people. Now she's shy.
she didn't think anybody could hear her.
Right? She's excited about the coffee.
Does she see Uncle Garth?
She see Uncle Garth and Auntie Gina and Auntie Lori. Blow kisses.
That's funny. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything while you got us on here? And even I think Keith is still on here. Does anybody have any questions for him?
Warren, I got a question. This is Mike, Janae's husband.
Hey, buddy.
Does Janae get paid on the person below her on their just coffee drink orders? Like, doesn't she get 22% of that too?
She gets a percentage of the volume that those people do bring in. Yeah, I think it's that's not the check match stuff. So your check match.
It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, right, or not.
What was that?
If they're an entrepreneur or customer, it doesn't matter to her, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She didn't.
Correct. Yeah, you get something on all the volume. Your top two, you get the matches, but then all your other ones, you're getting a percentage of the volume that's being driven through those legs.
My question was, or what made me think of it was on the new, where each of your Ellepreneurs gets 2 new customers.
Yep.
If I have somebody struggling to do that, would it be, in the best interest for me to help them get a customer, sign them up, instead of signing up a customer under me, sign them up under one of my level 1s?
Yeah, there's a definite possibility that would be good. It just depends on, looking at where your qualifications are versus theirs. So what she's talking about, I don't know if you guys all know this, and this is something that's been new, and it's for regulatory reasons and whatnot. But to get your check matches and stuff, you need to have 2 customers yourself, and you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 reps with 2 customers to get up to the full 110% check match. Okay? So that's for regulation reasons and all that. Garth, you want to say something?
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm driving.
Yes.
First, I just want to give a shout out to Keith. I'm so excited that he was on the call. We had a dinner engagement with corporate America tonight that we still have to put in our time clock dues, and that's why we love the coffee, because the goal is to get away from there, but we're just coming back from a corporate event. But yeah, it's a great question. And I'll get with some of you in more detail about that, because it's a timing thing. You want to definitely help your people get drinkers, but that's a 30-day window. We've got a lot of time until the end of next month. In this case, it takes a little time to develop legs that are 2, 3, 4 deep before we get to those issues. So to answer your question, Janae, for you specifically, it doesn't matter right now at this moment, but it will in month 2 and month 3. So that's a great question.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
And he just froze on us. That's a good picture. You should take it. Oh. Well, you froze up on us, Garth. What'd you say there at the end?
I said, Keith, thank you so much for being on the call. I've been excited all week to get on a call with you, and tonight was the only night that we're on the tail end of it. So I'm gonna go watch the replay. Yeah,
it'll be up on YouTube for sure. Good question, though. Anybody else have questions? Cool. All right. As Keith said, if you want to make a little bit of money, sample a little bit of coffee. If you want to make a lot of money, sample a lot of coffee. I mean, it really is. It's very, very refreshing to me, I guess. And I don't know all your guys' backgrounds or where you've come from, how many companies you've tried or anything like that. But so much of this industry has been recruit, has been get a rep, sell the dream, sell the opportunity, blah, 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 internal consumption of the products. Oh, yeah, and you can get a couple customers here and there. And this is so refreshing to say customer first. And it's so simple that, just like Keith said, how easy is it to sit there and say, okay, how many of my warm market, how many people do I run into on a daily basis that drink a cup of coffee or want to maybe lose a little weight, have more focus, have more energy? I mean, think about how many 5-hour energies there are out there, and Monster Energies and Red Bulls, and then the coffee on top of that. When you have a product, whether they like coffee or not, they can do the chocolate or the coffee, and we have something that they can consume on a daily basis that makes a difference in their lives, that is so much healthier than what they're taking right now. I mean, Garth was a perfect example. They talked about, he was drinking the healthy Monster. I didn't know there was a healthy Monster, but he was drinking. Oh yeah, Eileen saying there wasn't a healthy Monster, but he claimed it was the healthy Monster. And you know, we have a nice alternative for people. So it doesn't matter if they like coffee or they don't. That's a good opening question. I've used it a lot. I'm like, hey, you drink some coffee? I've got this great coffee. And then I go into my story about Limitless a lot. I mean, I was talking to Keith today about, you know, the Silicon Valley and programmers out west and all this stuff. They are big on nootropics and trying to figure out how to hack the brain and how to get more energy, how to get more focus, how to stay up longer. This is the perfect product for that. And so there's a whole market of people that are trying to biohack. It's what they call themselves, biohackers, hacking the body and get more out of it than what, you know, the normal person does. So this falls right into that category, but it's so refreshing on my end. And I'm sure on the customer's end to not feel the pressure of, hey, join my business, join my business. Why aren't you joining my business? You know, what, don't you want to go be a millionaire? You know, it would be frustrating on your end and it would be frustrating on their end. And now all of a sudden they're dodging you at the grocery store. And, you know, I've been there, done that. So to me, it's just very, very refreshing to be part of a company that is wanting to do this the right way. Maybe take a little bit longer to build when you go customer first. But what we are finding is that even though you're doing customer first, this thing is still blowing up organically. And that's very, very powerful to think about. So, because when you can interrupt the coffee industry and you can do it with a customer first bias, I guess, or customer first philosophy, then you have something, because everybody is loving it and it's a breath of fresh air for everybody. So go out there, sample the coffee, get it in front of as many people as you can. Do it today, do it tomorrow. Always have it with you. I have not ordered my man purse yet. My daughter said last night that you are not ordering a man purse. I said it was a Seinfeld joke. I apologize that you heard it, but you know, it was pretty funny. So anyway, all right. Anybody else have any other questions?
I do.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so today one of my customers contacted me, and he said, "Hey, I went on your website." He had already ordered for himself the coffee, the Xano, and the keto.
Okay.
And he said, "I went on your website and I ordered for my wife the Chocolate and the Xano." So now my question is this: if it's technically two people, how does that work? If it's only under his name?
It's only one person if it's under his name.
Crap.
Yeah. If he had created a new account for her and then bought it, then it would have been a second person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then does his volume be higher because his money is higher?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's more volume, more money to you. 100%.
All right.
It doesn't count for the two customers or as another customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So I should have encouraged him to have entered her as a separate, but I didn't know he was going to do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
that's
a good problem to have.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Good question. So, cool. All right, everybody. Well, have a great night. Go out there and let's get some more samples of coffee in people's hands. And there's all kinds of stuff coming. I'm telling you, I keep hearing more things every time I go over there. There's lots of stuff happening. So thanks so much for being on. Have a great night. All right. See you guys.
Here, guys.
Oh, Warren, thanks.